Yo, beep, 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 emergency! Blah, blah. Welcome in to an emergency edition of Snaps, your new favorite college football podcast, hosted by T-Bob Hebert and Aaron Murray. As you heard there, welcome in. It is a special edition, Friday edition of Snaps, as the news cycle hath provided some information that warrants immediate takes. And so here we are bringing you said takes. I'm your host, T-Bob, joined as always by the legend, QB1, Aaron Murray. Aaron, what's up, brother? How we feeling today, man?
Happy Friday. Man, it's been a minute since we've done a Friday show. It feels good to start the weekend off with a little snippety snappity. Have a little bit of fun before the drinks start pouring in tonight.
Speaking of snips, Aaron has a great vasectomy video on social media right now. Feel free to check it out and share it wherever you can. And share this show if you're into Snaps and you're listening on podcasts. You're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Well, boys, a week after we were told it didn't happen, well, I'll be damned. It done and happened. I kind of fumbled that. But Oklahoma and Texas are joining the SEC after all, and it'll happen in 2024. I love this, Aaron, because what it means is that 2024, and it's so rare. I've never seen anything like this. Maybe this is how it felt when they created divisions and everything like back in 92. But here at the end of divisions in the SEC, we are looking at a true and total reforging of college football in 2024, right? We're going to get the new look SEC with Oklahoma and Texas. We're going to get the expanded playoff. We're going to get USC and UCLA and the Big Ten. Yep. We're going to lose SEC divisions. You'll probably move to a 9-game schedule, it's looking like. You're going to have a new permanent 3 opponents, remade super conference everywhere. Like the Big Ten's going to be remade. The top 2 teams will go for the SEC. So we are talking about really impactful, massive, arguably like transformational change, and it's all taking place in the same year, the reforging of 2024. I don't know about you, Aaron, but I'm very happy that they went ahead and figured out how to get this done.
Yeah, well, we'll get a little bit of a taste of what college football is going to look like with the Big 12 adding 4 new teams this season: UCF, sorry, Houston, Cincinnati, and who's the 4th team they're adding? I'll draw a blank real quick.
BYU.
BYU. There you go. Who can forget the Cougs? So get a little bit of a taste. But yes, I'm with you. Like, I didn't want to see this to be like a 3-season thing where the Big 12 has its mini transformation, and then the Big 10 adds their 2, and then all of a sudden the SEC gets theirs in 2025. Plus, you alluded to the addition of the 12-team playoff next season, 2024. So yes, it's good that we will know what college football will look like here in the next year and a half. So I'm all for it. I still think there's a lot of changes to be made, though. I really do. I think the Pac-12 will see some more changes. I think the Big 10, the Big 12 could see some more changes with maybe the addition of more Pac-12 teams. I hope that is also somehow included in this massive rollout in 2024. Like to me, that's when I feel like we just hit play on college football fans. You get the next year and a half for those who are angry about the situation, for those that want to go back to the BCS era, whatever your gripe is with college football, you literally get a year and a half to get it out of your system, bitch and moan as much as you want to, and then sit back and enjoy it because it's happening. And it's all going to happen at one beautiful moment in time. And as an SEC fan mostly and a fan of college football, I'm all for it, man. It's going to be really exciting to see the evolution of what the SEC is going to look like.
Well, I mean, it's great from this side of the equation, certainly, right? When you talk about the sport constantly, how rare is it that you see the very fabric of something that you cover this intensely change? And quite honestly, we're already living through that. And it's weird, right? But if you want to describe like historical perspective on it, or look at it from a historical perspective, it's sometimes hard to know. And I'm going to say this is relative history, college football history, not like important world history. But it's rare to know that you are living through historical times, right? But when you look at the advent of NIL, of player empowerment, of the transfer portal, of now the expanded playoff, of the super conferences, a lineup of massive booming TV contracts, massive booming coaching contracts. Like when you look at all of this explosion, you are living through historical times. What fascinates me, there's an old Dan Carlin analogy that I love where he talks about trying to describe the times that you're living in is a bit like standing like a foot away from a billboard and trying to describe the picture, right? But as you get distance from it, you learn more and more. So it's going to be fun to react here immediately to all this massive change and everything that's going to happen. But then there will be ripple effects and there will be takes 10, 15 years down the road where we will look back on this and we will really realize like, oh man, this led directly to this. And like, we'll have this full picture idea of just how transformational this really is. But it feels pretty extreme to me. And again, better to do it in kind of one fell swoop instead of cobbling it together. And this is a little flourish.
We lose T-Bob or do we lose me there?
You're still here, Brum. Am I gone?
We're both still here.
Aaron. Okay, we're all still here. But one thing that I love, how's about this for a little flourish? Michigan and Texas are playing in Ann Arbor at the beginning of 2024 to kick it all off. But how it pissed me off, Texas is going to have to represent the SEC against Michigan in 24, and they're going to lose the first battle of the super conferences. Massive bummer. But it's going to be great, though.
All right. So since I missed a good portion of what you just said because my headsets went out. Of course, they go out. Friday fails right there. Friday.
It was all a bunch of highfalutin gibberish, kind of hot air, like trying to be a little too creative. Like I just read that thread about the Renaissance, and now I think, who did I start to believe in this season because of one Twitter thread about the Renaissance? Shit.
Oh, yeah, well for you.
No, it didn't work. It was a lot of that BS. The bottom line is I'm hyped. Yeah, okay. I'm super hyped to be living in these times, and it's great to get to cover it all.
Well, it's also good for, I forgot to mention, one other major change that's going to happen that will affect the SEC in a big way, somewhat, is bye-bye to CBS. I think that contract also
that's
has
the other big one.
Left.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, that is one more year left. So that prime time, which I'm interested in to honestly see if the ESPN tries to possibly buy out those rights heading into next season to somewhat start moving in the direction of, hey, we own the SEC, and start moving into like, hey, man, this is where you want to get the best football. Now we're going to own Texas and Oklahoma in about a year from now. So we'll see. ESPN also and Disney just are about to plan off about 6,000 people they're about to fire and massive cuts in their budget. So I don't know if they want to be buying the rights to the SEC Game of the Week from CBS. So maybe they will wait one more season for that. But that's the other big news. And that's why I think the ESPN is a big winner in this too, is the year that they do take over the entire SEC. They're also getting Texas. They're also getting Oklahoma added into this to play around with the time slots for all those news additions. So I'm excited. It's for the SEC was two big moves that occurred yesterday, or two big announcements essentially. First one being Texas and Oklahoma coming, and then they also, SEC flexing their muscles, letting everyone know that they gave each one of their members in the conference $50 million end of the year payment to every single school in the SEC. So, and that money's probably only going to go up with this new contract with ESPN, with the addition of Oklahoma and Texas as well. So that's one of the incentives. If you play in the SEC, you're probably going to get a minimum of $50 million at the end of the season from all the earnings from playoffs and bowl games and this and ticket sales, all that good stuff. So to say that the game of college football is pissing people off or dying, you would not know that living in the Southeast. By seeing
no, business. Like I said, business. One part of my rant was all about business is booming right now.
Yes.
There's no. Hey, okay. So I can't believe I left out the TV portion of 2024 reforging. That's on me. Or the 2020 forging. That get it? 2020 forging. Trademark it. Volume. You're welcome. Brum. We're going to say goodbye to the SEC on CBS Music. Is the John Williams song going to be the ESPN main college football song?
I hope so.
Do you think so? Like, am I off base there? I'm saying,
I feel like if you don't bring in John Williams for a one-off, I would be flabbergasted by that.
Well, I know, but I mean, it could still just be like the championship, right? It could just be the playoff theme. Do you think you get it extended to in your production insight? Would you guess that they would extend it into weekly?
Yes, that would be my guess.
Okay. Let's go, dude. Let's go. I love that. That was a good song. All right, so now let's get into what Greg Sankey had to say about it this morning. He went on your station, Aaron, Sirius College. Well, actually, I think that's Sirius College Sports Radio, right? And he was basically saying right now, the main proposal, bar anything unforeseen, is for it to go divisionless. So goodbye to the East and West. Yep. And that the leader in the clubhouse from a schedule perspective are 9 conference games. Now, he did apply a little bit of time pressure, saying that kind of an outside boundary by the time they want to be committed to 9 games would be during the Destin spring meetings, I think take place in May. And that he said ideally they'd have a decision sooner, because if you do go to 9 games, that's a ton of scheduling changes that you have to make for 2024. Yep. So I think we just play with that idea. Like, look, Greg Sankey gets his way. He is a bit of a master politician. So if he says they're going to divisionless in 9 games, I think that's what's going to happen. And so off the bat here, sorry, UGA fans, okay? Your free ticket, your free ride is done. Okay? You're finally going to have to play some respectable schedules. You don't get to play Vandy, Mizzou, and Kentucky every year, okay? You're going to have to play every team at least twice every 4 years. And that's under any proposal, 8, 9 games. It doesn't matter. So, welcome to the game, Georgia. Like I told you earlier, off air, I've decided that I don't respect a single Georgia 10-win season because I just realized they get to play Vandy, Mizzou, and Kentucky every year. Not a single one.
Yeah, I know. What a complete joke that schedule is. I'm interested to see. I would love to be in those meetings and kind of see which coaches are for the 8 games and which are for the 9. I would assume those on a lower tier, or those that are fighting for bowl games every year, are probably saying, hey, let's stick to 8. Let's stick to 8.
That is my understanding, is that yes, because that turns Middle Tennessee into Mississippi State. And that's tough.
Yeah. If you're Mississippi State, if you're Kentucky, if you're Vandy, if you're Missouri, do you really want to add a 9th conference game to the schedule? Probably not. The least, the better. But it also gives you the excuse, though, too. Like, there is now a legitimate excuse of, okay, we are going to play 3 big-time cupcake games. Like, I don't think anyone's going to bitch and moan if you play 3 games.
Well, I think, I don't know, man, if I'm the conference, because right now, what's the requirement? You got to play 1 Power 5 outside of, and you're out of conference games?
But I wonder if that changes if they go to 9-game conference schedule.
That's what I'm saying, though, dude. I think we're all about juice and TV contracts. So if you're telling me I'm getting 9 Connies and a Power 5 matchup,
the obvious thing is it's like one. Yes, I think the obvious schedule is 9 conference games, 1 group, 1 Power 5, 1 group of 5, 1 regional rival. So you keep the in-state,
economy going. When you pay the school,
you are going to. The bottom tier of the SEC is going to suffer and fall off in a big, big way. If that's the case.
Dude, schedule Wyoming. Are they Power 5?
Yeah, but I'm still saying you're still having to schedule another group of. So essentially, you're playing 10. You're playing 9 SEC games, another Power 5 game, and then a group of 5 team. Yeah, it's going to be a grind, but
good. But everybody's going to make more money, Aaron. That's what happens. So that's the whole point of all this, is that everybody's going to get more money at the end of the day.
But if you're not winning football games and your coaches are getting fired, if you're not making bowl games,
you're getting buyouts.
5-17.
Yeah, you're getting buyouts.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's not better. It's better for the sport. Yes, it's better for the fans, 100%. But those coaches that are coaching the bottom tier of the SEC are probably saying, hell no. We don't want more difficult games. We're trying to survive our job and keep our job. And the one way to do that for them is to make a bowl game first. And now if you add an extra SEC game and a Power 5 game, it just makes that way, way more difficult. But as a fan, I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it. Let's rotate these games. I always tell people, and I just posted about this, I never played Alabama in a regular season game. That's crazy. I was at Georgia for 5 years. I never went to Baton Rouge. That sucks. I don't want to play Missouri every year. I don't want to play Vandy every year. I do and I don't. It's a good stat game, but it's not really fun. As a fan, you kind of get bored of it. So I think the master plan will be 9 games. I do think that Sankey's going to push for a heavy rotation where, if you're a student athlete, you do play every single team in the SEC.
Every team will play twice in 4 years.
Yes.
Like that is a basic requirement of whatever the remake
you will
is.
get a home and away essentially as a player. If you stick it out, you will get a home and away of every single team in the SEC, which is smart.
Well, it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Love
absolutely.
100%.
Okay, are you going to miss divisions at all? As we say goodbye to the SEC West, hey, you petite little East boys, 18-13, boys. Suck it. 18-13, West winning right now. So even if Georgia wins next year, 18-14, West reigns supreme. Let's ride, dude. In the 30 years when it's all said and done,
you keep pumping your chest because Alabama went through the best dynasty ever. You can feel so good about that. Just keep flexing those West muscles because Nick Saban coached Alabama to the best dynasty in college football history. Feel good about that, T-Bob. Feel good about that, big guy.
Time out.
Yeah.
How
many did Alabama win?
Florida did just as much heavy lifting nearly for the East. Okay. Alabama went to 14 SEC championships. They were 10-4 in those games. I know, right? They were 10-4 too.
10.
Florida went to 13. They were 7-6. Georgia went to 10, 4-6. Kind of a choke artist stat there. LSU went to 7. They were 5-2. Auburn went to 6. Ooh. Tennessee 5, Arkansas 3, Missouri 2, Mississippi State 1, South Carolina 1. Ole Miss, Kentucky, Vandy, and A&M are going to go the entire SEC East-West era without having ever made it to Atlanta.
They go this year.
Who?
No, they can go this year.
They can go this year. Who? Yeah, I'm saying who? Ole Miss, Kentucky, Vandy, Texas A&M. Who's going out of that group? That's what I'm saying. I know they could go this year.
Texas A&M is the best chance. Texas A&M. If you had to pick one, A&M is the best chance. Yes.
I agree. We're in agreement there.
You never know, though. But flex your muscles because Alabama was there for 14 times and won 10 of them.
Georgia did just
okay.
Georgia did just as much, or Florida did just as much heavy lifting. If we took Alabama and Florida out of it, the West would still win. The East only has 3 teams that even won. I guess I don't know. I'm trying. My brain's whatever. We'll do the math. I'll do the math in a second, and I'll get right back to you. I am going to kind of miss. I am going to kind of miss divisions. You're gonna. It's just because it's all I've known my entire life. Like think about that. This is all we've known in our entire SEC football fan lives, and now it's all about to change. And now you can have a Florida Georgia SEC championship. Or an Alabama LSU SEC championship. And you're also probably going to get in these pod systems. Do you want to start to look at some of the potential pairings?
Who gets bent over in this pod system is what I'm excited to see. Like who just gets destroyed when it comes to who is in their pod.
This. I said pod. I think technically that would get me yelled at because pod implies that every member is going to play each other. It's not. It's every team will have 3 permanent opponents and rotate through everyone else. I looked at the Athletics today. That's what you're looking at right now. Oh, bro, I know. So I looked at the Athletic, and they called this an educated guess of how it could play out. And right off the bat, you say Auburn, they jump off as they get Georgia, Florida, and Alabama. And I know that fortunes wax and wane, right? And dynasties come and go. But if we look over the 30 years of what we were just talking about, the division system, those are the top 3 schools are Georgia, Florida, and Alabama. So Auburn would be getting royally screwed here. It's like for that reason alone, I cannot imagine that Auburn would actually allow this or that this could go through on Auburn.
But if one school would get screwed by the process, like it would be Auburn, and
someone's going to get screwed,
and they would make it their personality. Like they're not screwing Alabama, and they're not screwing Georgia, and all. Auburn loves to be aggrieved. Like it's their whole brand.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. 100%. Like Auburn would love this. Yeah, Auburn would love to be able to have a pity party and say, "Oh, boo-hoo us! Everyone hates Auburn. We're the redhead stepchild. No one likes us." Wait. Like,
I've never considered it.
They would fully embrace getting bent over. Like, love it because then they can.
You don't think Auburn and grievance politics go together? Look who they just hired.
I've never really considered it, but y'all are absolutely right, dude. Y'all are spot on. So okay, maybe this goes through then. I got to say, Georgia.
First off,
Georgia
them vetoing it doesn't mean that's just going to go away. Like if everyone else in the group says, "Okay, these look good,"
I agree, but like the more powerful schools do swing a bigger stick, though, right? And like Auburn is one of the upper tier, one of the upper middle class of the SEC.
It's Nick Saban. It's Nick Saban. It's Nick Saban. It's Kirby. And if they both say this is what we feel like is the best for the conference, that's what's going to happen. Let's just be real.
And it's Brian.
Maybe Kelly? Brian Kelly in that situation. Yeah, maybe Brian. I think when it comes to national coach wise, yes, but not. I don't know if he has the SEC pool just yet.
So I do love LSU's draws here. They get Ole Miss, Texas A&M, and Oklahoma. Ole Miss, the most traditional rival. Texas A&M, a like microwaved corporate rivalry that actually works, and people hate each other, and there's like huge fan base crossover in Houston. And then I would love Oklahoma. I mean, that's not great. You're playing an elite traditional, like one of the greatest powers every year, but it's an interesting matchup. And anytime you take Florida and Alabama off the schedule on a year-to-year basis, I'll call that a win. Anybody else kind of jump off the page?
Go back.
Kentucky's got to love this. Kentucky gets Vanderbilt, Tennessee, and South Carolina. It's about as friendly as you're going to find.
Georgia, Auburn, Florida, South Carolina. That's pretty good. Traditional, the first two, but Georgia's in a good spot though.
Yeah, Georgia's in a great spot there, but they need to keep Auburn, Florida almost. Like it makes sense to go out of your way to kind of keep
really
those.
Just Auburn. Honestly, Auburn's the only team that I look at and just like, man, you guys are just – you better hope that Florida doesn't figure it out for a while and that Nick Saban retires.
You can't dump – but the problem with Auburn is you can't dump the Iron Bowl and you can't dump Georgia. So, like, you're –
exactly.
So, like, those two, you can't dump. So, like, whoever the third one is – You're just kind of stuck.
They needed like Vanderbilt in there.
I'm saying they could have thrown a Vandy or something.
Give them a
little break.
I mean, but they were safe with Vandy because they went Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri. In this again, hypothetical.
How about this? Let's explore the interesting part of this, which is what the new teams would have. Oklahoma would have Texas, Missouri, LSU. Okay, I think that's great. It's a good draw for Oklahoma getting Mizzou mixed in there. And yeah, no, it is tough. It is tough, but they're always going to have Texas. It is kind of that same thing. Both LSU and Oklahoma don't love seeing each other, but Texas has A&M, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. That ain't no cakewalk neither. But I guess none of these really are too much. But this is just the athletics. What did the other one say that we had? Okay. See, I hate this. This is LSU with Alabama, Ole Miss, A&M. That's brutal.
I wouldn't consider that brutal if I'm LSU.
I guess that's exactly what you've been doing every year. To be fair,
it's a little more. It skews a little bit more traditional rivalry as opposed to historical rivalry, right? Because you keep the LSU Bama game, which obviously is not a historical.
A little bit easier for Auburn. Auburn gets Mississippi State as their third, which I'm sure they like a little bit better. So Auburn is Alabama. Those listening, Alabama, Georgia, which we alluded to, that's not going anywhere, and then Mississippi State is their third, which is a little bit easier to digest. This looks good. I like this one a little bit better.
And you keep the manufactured LSU A&M rivalry as well.
And again, I don't use manufactured as a pejorative. Like,
me neither.
It's the rare instance of they did manufacture it, but it was well built. Some good Japanese engineering, like it works great. I think
good 7-time overtime game that really takes it to another level.
I think I do like that second one we looked at better, and with Nick Saban getting really old and like being about to retire, I kind of love that because then I'm going to get to curb stomp Alabama every year while I'm watching the downfall of the empire firsthand. I guess the other thing we should mention in this is that all questions of fairness are even a bit lessened since you're doing a home and home every 4 years, right? So like you're still going to pretty much play everybody way more regularly than you do. Yep. So, I mean, impactfully, your year-to-year opponents, well, it still matters. It is less impactful. But yeah, this is.
What do you think? Cool, what do you think right now? When you see the brands of the SEC, you've seen the success of the current model of college football for the SEC. Because let's not tippy-toe around it. Like the SEC has dominated this playoffs. They dominated the BCS. They've also dominated the 14 playoff. On average, when you see the teams coming, when you see this schedule, when you know that most likely there's going to be a 9-game conference schedule, how many teams realistically do you think are going to get in every year in this 12-team playoff? 3? 4?
I mean, I was just thinking about like
it's going to be Alabama.
Alabama's in every year, 100%. Alabama and Georgia are in every year.
Georgia.
A 9-3 Alabama and Georgia are going to get in no matter what. So 2 off the bat are already in automatically every year.
Yeah,
and then I think you rotate maybe a 3rd and a 4th. I find it a bridge too far to believe you get 5 in, but I think 4 feels completely realistic. So
yeah, if you get you would need a 1-3 Georgia, Alabama. LSU.
Doesn't the math cap it at about 6 because they have to do the 4 other conferences and like 1 group of 5?
Yeah, like in a perfect, if everything somehow you had everything, it does. But if that indeed is the playoff model, which it is expected to be, I mean, so basically you have Auburn, Florida, LSU, Oklahoma, Texas, and everybody competing for spots 3 and 4 in the playoff. Now it could be a situation where like the reason why I say Alabama and Georgia are in every year is that like some year they may be lower seeded than those other teams, but they're always going to be getting in. Like I don't see them losing 4 games anytime soon. So fascinating. It's 2024 going to be a hell of a year for college football. It'll be a crazy year. I don't know that it'll be crazier than the news cycle that surrounded Brian Kelly last night. As in a matter of 2.5 hours on the internet, Brian Kelly went from being, from him and his wife of 28 years deciding to get a divorce to his kids publicly disputing it. It was a WBRZ report in a tweet, which is a local news station here. His children then quote tweeted that, saying fake news, and posted a picture of Brian Kelly and his wife walking together. And then WBRZ, the news station, after that, about 2.5 hours from the original tweet, tweets out that source inside the LSU athletic administration says, while the couple filed for divorce this week, they have decided to work towards a reconciliation. This is not my favorite stuff to talk about because, these are like people's lives and it's a little greasy, but it's crazy. I have never seen a story take so many wild and drastic twists and turns to end up the exact opposite direction that it started, all within the space of 2.5 hours. Never seen anything like
it. I mean, I look at my phone last night and there's one text message from you saying that the divorce is happening. And then 5 seconds later, I get another tweet that, never mind, false alarm, they're back together again. It was like nothing like not only a good drama in Baton Rouge. That to me, is the perfect place to happen.
Speaking of drama, Johnny Drama is old College Humor skit where they make fun of Entourage and the entire deal is like, oh no, Vinny can't do the movie. Hey, Vinny can do the movie. Like that. That's exactly what that was like. Oh no, they're getting divorced. Hey, they're staying together. And that's how quickly it happened. I will say this. I do find it interesting that any of this ever even hit the public because Brian Kelly is so cognizant of kind of the station that he occupies as a public figure, as the highest paid public employee in the state. And, he's very shrewd, right? So when they make those papers official, they know that it's going to be a big deal and it's going to be a story. And so, I'm just shocked that they did this knowing that like we would be sitting here talking about it, but who knows, man? I don't, that ain't my relationship. I got enough to worry about my 3 kids. I hope they work it out great. If not, that's cool, man. I just want them to beat Alabama. Like win the West in this last year, beat Georgia's ass in the last years of the SEC championship. And as we know it now, and I don't care about anything else. It's all good, man. Handle your business.
Good for him. You know what? Sometimes it just brings you closer together. Just brings you closer. Go through a little bit of a drama.
Oh, just going through a little bit of a drama. Yeah. Like you get a little. Yeah, you get
it's
a little.
You get to the edge. You get to the edge of death. Then you kind of appreciate life a little bit. You appreciate the marriage. You bounce back, and you're stronger for it. Watch LSU fuck around and go 13-0 and go to the playoffs and go 15-0 next year because of this. Made Brian Kelly a better man.
It's actually pretty profound. And not in the ironic, we're making fun of every risk is risky profound way, but in like being actually profound. You are right. Sometimes a relationship is stronger for a little drama. Just need a little drama.
Yeah.
Just a little hiccup to have to work through where you both have to get some things off your chest, apologize to one another, make up, and decide, you know what? Let's keep at this thing. Been at it long enough. We'll see. Not what I expected to talk about today. The reforging of both Brian Kelly's marriage and college football as we know it. Wow. Oh, man. That's what this episode title should be, the reforging.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, boys.
Happy Friday.
What we got going on this weekend? Anything exciting?
Super Bowl. My bets look so much better than your bets, so make sure you go to check them out at FanDuel.
True. I am fading the NFL
my bets look better than yours?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably not the best decision you can make.
You play.
I will say Philly is the better football team.
I guess you play for
both
teams, actually.
I played for the Eagles.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, but you like the Phillies to cover.
And the Eagles didn't fire me, so, I should probably like them better.
Okay. Wait, what do you mean? They didn't fire you?
I never got cut from the Eagles. I got cut from the Chiefs. I had a 1-year deal with Philly, and then you just I actually signed the next year with the Rams for a little bit instead of re-signing with Philly.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Oh, you got straight up. Okay. Yes. You were let go, not fired. They decided not to renew. No,
I was fired.
No. I'm talking about in Philly.
No, they offered me. I just went with the Rams instead.
Oh, okay. I see. My bad. I was misunderstanding. All right. Well, look, that'll do it. I have a hot date with my wife tonight. Okay. I didn't want to lead the show with this because it's a weird way to lead it yesterday. But boys, I don't know about this condom thing. We're gonna have to get this. Yeah. We're gonna have to make this snip happen fast. Like I said, I know. You were not lying. I thought that everybody
don't throw in the shell coverage, T-Bob.
No, I mean, look, dude, and again, look, if you practice safe sex first and foremost, okay? I'm talking about sex with my wife, who's mother of my 3 children here. I don't want another kid, but you're entering a real that's what I'm saying. You're in a real how badly do you not want another kid when I had that condom? I don't know, man. I don't know if it's for me. We're gonna get snipped. We're gonna make it happen very soon here.
We're getting snipped. Yeah,
we're getting snipped. All right, boys. Well, thank you to Aaron Murray. Huge thank you to FanDuel. Promo code SNAPS when you sign up. Do all your gambling for Sunday. Huge thank you to Con Coward and the Volume Sports Network, man. The podcast YouTube channel, like, subscribe. If you enjoy the podcast, rate and review it so it kind of spreads out naturally. And please. Oh, and thank you to Ryan Brumley, Paul Farrington, Pat Gunner, and Danny Cardenas. We love you all very much, and we'll see you on Monday for a brand new episode of Snaps.